Hey everybody, how you going?
Kia ora, Facebook whānau.
Donna-Leigh Perfect, and we have the beautiful Karen Clarke and Michael Bennett here.
Chirp.
We have just finished a presentation to Dagulawa Boys School in Ormo this morning on conflict resolution. We had the lovely Karen Clarke, who is the author From Bullied to Brilliant. Now this book has actually become our resource tool as part of our resources for our DreamGuard Perfect Peace program. So we love your book, Karen. It's amazing. It's so holistic. It's got, wow, so many beautiful quotes too, but the stories you share. And so tell us a little bit about the journey of your book.
The journey of my book, well, it took quite a long time to put together. It took about 4.5 years to put together. And I wrote it, there's many different reasons. I'm asked why I wrote it. One of the reasons I wrote it was because it was difficult for me to help my own kids when they were younger, and now they're teenagers, it's the same really, to find the right resources. But I also found that the work that I was doing was working, and what I could help, how I could help my own kids, and how I could help other people's kids, and how I could help adults. The strategies that I was using were working, and I felt that if you have a situation where bullying appears to be overwhelmingly difficult to manage, and you have a solution, you have an actual duty to put that in a book or put it out there into the world.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing. So you're an NLP therapist, is that your title?
Yes, I'm an NLP trainer, and I also, what else do I do?
Timeline therapy.
Yeah.
I do timeline therapy.
Yeah.
I don't do Facebook Live though. Yes,
No,
I do timeline
let's do it.
therapy, and NLP is really part of my toolbox. And then, of course, I've developed specific strategies for bullying out of that.
Right. And so, did you have a story yourself of being bullied as a child?
My own story, yes. So when I was a child, I suffered from low confidence and self-esteem. At the time, I thought I was victimized. I thought I was a victim.
Okay.
I believed people to be me, and what I hadn't understood, and one of the things that I now understand quite deeply, is I interpreted the world as being hostile to me because I didn't feel good enough. I actually had decided from a very early age that I wasn't good enough. So if anybody said anything to me that reinforced that, I believed them and felt that I was being victimized.
That's interesting, isn't it? So is it almost like a mirror, kind of? What were your struggles, your internal struggles yourself? You were...
Yes, it's exactly like a mirror. I mean, what they say, tell your biggest bully it's over and walk away from the mirror. I was certain I was ugly, I was certain I was incompetent, I was certain I wasn't good enough, I was certain I wasn't smart enough and clever enough and wise enough and able to do well. I thought those things about myself. So when people told me that, I
Took
agreed.
ownership of it.
Yeah, I agreed. I thought, yeah, they're onto me. I just felt shy and inhibited.
Yeah.
But all of that I took to being, seeing myself as a victim.
Yeah.
And
you own that victim mentality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought, oh, right, so that doesn't work, by the way.
But it's a big thing these days though, isn't it? Everybody's owning that victim mentality.
And what do they call it now? Victim shaming. So when we talk about resilience, quite often, the media turn this around and talk about victim shaming. And have you heard of this term?
I have heard of it. It doesn't really make any sense to me. At the end of the day, you have a problem, and the problem is you have a dominant person and a submissive person, and when they meet, things don't work out.
Right.
So all you have there is a problem, and you need to figure out how to, if you're a dominant person, you need to learn some tools and techniques and strategies and ideas about yourself and understanding of relationships in the world, so that you're not as dominant and you're not as imposing and you don't push to get your own way so much. And if you are submissive or in a victim mindset, you need to learn how to find and access your own power, find your voice, find your ability to get your own way, or to remove yourself from situations that don't feel comfortable with the knowledge that you're actually okay, you're fine.
Right, wow. So if you're a dominant personality, then you're actually almost seeing something that's missing in your life in that other person, and that's why you're choosing to to pick on that person, right? Because there's an aspect of that person that you wish was inside you, is it?
Yes, often. So what you often get, like the atypical probably bully-victim relationship, a bully will be attacking a victim, say, for instance, for being compassionate or being soft. And what the bully is really saying is, I want some of that for me. I want it. I want what you've got. So they try and take it. You can't take it from another person. You have to grow it. You have to learn how to bring that out of yourself. But what they're saying, really, they're saying, I'm suffering and I want what you've got, because what you've got will make me feel better.
So both of them are really coming from a suffering position, right?
Yes.
So then, therefore, it makes perfect sense, and this is what I say quite often, is it's about showing empathy and compassion for both, and trying to get to the core of the problem, because they're both suffering.
Yes. So a bully is a victim who's lashing out, and a victim is a bully who bullies themselves. So they have the same problem. It's like a positive and a negative. They have exactly the same problem. They're just showing up. So, more dominant personality types, and it's not a bad thing. The dominant personalities are great. They're go-getters, they're achievers, they can make and shake the world. They're fantastic if they're compassionate and loving and driven by that which inspires them. But if they're in pain, they're a force to be reckoned with. And somebody who is submissive can be wonderful. They can listen, they can create subtle, artistic and beautiful sort of places and art and gardens and put more thought into the world. But if that submission is coming from pain and they withdraw, as I did when I was a kid, then they suffer. And they don't benefit themselves or the world. So we're looking for people to find the way they can use their talents and their powers that betters themselves and the world. So it's not good and bad people. It's just people that are lacking information.
Absolutely. And so I think maybe sometimes the school system's sort of missing this in the way that they deal with their policies or their reaction to bullying, because often what is the case is that the bully either gets punished badly, and often the victim is not even, it's just swept over the carpet and they're left to get on with things and or toughen up or whatever it might be. So what are some of the strategies you think really need to be implemented in school, in the curriculum, that are going to help kids deal with this moving forward?
Well, I think social and emotional skills need to be one of the highest priorities, because if you don't have good social and emotional skills, you don't have the capacity really to move forwards in life in any meaningful way or achieve your goals and dreams. You need access to that. So at the moment what we're doing is we're sedating our kids. We're dumbing them down, we're sedating them with we give them medication and we give them technology, and we allow them to sort of plateau instead of holding them to a high standard of behavior, of thinking, of empathy, of compassion, making sure that how we relate to each other, how we understand the world at large, how we feel it is of the highest priority. We're not putting that in, we've got no layer around that. Some of the schools do, some schools are fantastic, but generally schools are mostly geared towards academic achievement, and that can be a problem. That can be a real problem if you haven't got the social, emotional, and for other places it's spiritual. I mean, I personally prefer that we do a holistic approach.
Me too. And this is kind of what we saw at
Ken Robinson says that, though. He says education is killing creativity.
That's his famous TED Talk, one of the most watched TED Talks.
Which is true. So we're not looking at the individual, we're trying to pigeonhole them. Just going, you need this math, you need this science, you need this, and just...
Have you ever been to a university and checked out some of the professors?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, it's okay.
They're part of the furniture.
With all due respect, it is wonderful to have academic talent. Like, wonderful to have academic, intellectual talent. Amazing, impressive. But if you have no heart if you have no heart, and you don't use your intuition. We need to teach our kids how to use intuition. They need to
big
know
time.
what bars they
Big
walked
time.
into, what friends do they make,
So
what
important.
choices do they make in relationships, how to get themselves out of difficult situations, how to avoid the situations.
How to own their feelings
Well,
and what
that
their
is-
feelings mean. Yeah.
How to be open, how to be honest. You talk about teen suicide, that's people not being able to speak, communicate, and don't understand their feelings, or they block their feelings. I mean, these
Absolutely.
are really, really essential skills.
Absolutely, absolutely. And
Life skills, life
yes.
skills.
And life skills need to be taught a lot more in schools. I really believe that's, you know, it's as important, if not more important, than, you know, maths or English. It's got to be one of those core subjects that are taught on a daily basis. And
Yes.
it's not, and right now what we're seeing is health and well-being kind of just being this little piece at the end of the week of school that we're just trying to fit in if we can into the curriculum.
But that's
It's
right down
already
to
too
savings
full.
as well, isn't it? Like start with the savings and a savings plan and having a budget, and because how the kids coming through now are going to buy their first house. I mean, just that knowledge alone is a life skill, you know, not like all this math and algebra, just going,
Yeah.
this is like, you know, this is what you need to do to get a deposit, and this is how you pay it off. So just that is a life skill, and take on the anxiety when you do become redundant, or, you know, there is a passing of somebody in your life, and owning those, that life skill for sure.
Dealing with trauma, dealing with tragedy,
Yeah.
dealing with rejection,
Yeah.
dealing with injustice.
Yeah.
You know, it's not whether it happens or not.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
not the question.
It's when.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
going to happen. Someone's going to let you down.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, very
Totally.
likely someone will betray you. Most
Yeah.
likely someone will break your heart. Like, these things happen. You
Dealing with a
may
cracked
have-
screen on your phone or a flat battery that you can't, got no charger, and go, oh, we've got to deal with that. That was like,
Okay, you all right?
Yeah. But hey, we've all come from a different generation, and I appreciate that. That, you know, we did have it a little bit tougher at school, and, you know, there were really serious consequences to our actions, and actually lots of natural consequences. And we were allowed to feel those natural consequences. And something, you know, it was just like, well, hey, you know, if you forgot your sandwich, then you're going to go hungry, and tomorrow you're going to remember it. Or, you know, you fell over on your bike, well, get up and, you know, pedal home and get a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
These kind of things. And I think this is also part of the problem today, is that we're rescuing our children too much
Yes.
from natural consequences. And so in doing this, we are setting them up for failure in the real world, because they are not building and developing the resilience they need to cope with problems that they will face.
Yes, and the way we do that is, as a parent, is by working on yourself. If you really want to be a better parent, work on yourself. Get yourself so that you're in shape, in good shape, emotional shape, spiritual shape, mental shape. You bring yourself into good health, and you'll be able to communicate that better to your kids. That's how we do
Absolutely.
it. But what we do is we stay in this down state, or sad state, or stress state, and then we almost like palm it off. So I can't deal with the kids. I can't help them. I don't know how to help them. You know, that's it. That's
just
Yeah.
like we talked about today, because they'd be mirroring you, wouldn't they?
Yes.
They'll be mirroring your attitudes and your nature. And
Yeah.
that's what we find with reality TV. The kids are looking at the parents fighting about who should win the block and what and they're fighting, and then they're looking, just going, that's how the parents, and then they, as you were saying, take it to school, and then they're bullying somebody else.
Yeah.
Perpetual cycle.
Yes, well that's it. We have an adversarial approach to life. You know, look at the litigation. Look at Parliament. Look at Parliament. How that the in question time how that
Yeah.
runs. Like
It's all conflict.
Yeah, every show we don't watch free TV.
No,
We just
no.
won't watch it. But if you turn the channel, you turn it on, and you look at how many horrific sort of shorts they have for horrific
Oh, yeah.
shows. There's so much violence.
Oh, somebody
so much.
has to
We're
wear-
so happy
oh
with
my God.
violence. We love violence.
But we've
Misery loves
almost
company.
become disconnected from it, haven't we? Because it's in our face so much now.
Yeah, but then we say, I can't understand these kids.
Oh,
why
yeah.
why
Yeah.
are they fighting? Why are they upset? Why are they angry?
And girls in the school playground, it seems, it's really escalating a lot more to physical violence. And again, you know, we've got to ask that question, well, girls are getting on all these violent games and they're playing them just like the boys are now. So it's that neuro pathways that are being set.
Well, we definitely are a culture that's comfortable with violence. We're comfortable with it.
Yeah.
We're comfortable with talking about it. We're comfortable with displaying it on our TVs. We're comfortable on, some people are still even being raised that it's like a good thing. I don't know. It just is beyond me. But we actually have almost a complicity in this. And then you put kids in school, kids who have no real social skills, no real emotional reach. They're still immature. They're juvenile. They're learning. And you expect them to all get along and say, I don't understand it. I tell you I don't understand it because it's not being filtered through our culture. We're not culturally protecting our kids. We're not giving them the information. Where's the wise ones? Where's that voice? Where's that calm voice?
Yes.
It's not in the phone.
No.
Where are the people that are talking?
Yeah, that's
And-
right.
and
where
yeah.
are they?
They've taken away the elders from the village.
That's
you know,
exactly
so-
right. It's a connected community, and I talk a lot about that too. You know, the future of communities connectedness, and it is about this. It's about connecting with people to, hopefully create some kind of a positive ripple effect. And I said on
And
the
the passing
stage
down
this
of
morning
knowledge,
about
yeah.
the vessel. We're just
Yeah.
vessels that are passing knowledge to people and helping them in some small way, hopefully, adding value to their life, but through our experiences.
Yeah.
And hopefully filtering it in the right way. Who knows?
Hopefully.
Yeah, exactly.
You can pray for that bit.
Well, hey, that was awesome, man. Thank you so
Wow.
much. It was
Yeah.
cool connecting, and we really appreciate you coming all the way down the Sunshine Coast to see our presentation today at Gulawar.
It was fantastic, yes, and I really hope that your presentation gets into more schools because it's meaningful, it's touching, it's important, and it's great fun. Now, you can't go wrong with that. If you're trying to communicate and share empathy, love, compassion, a message, a deeper message,
Thank you, yeah.
a little bit of foolishness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit of craziness, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good mix.
So get on to
And-
your principals, get on to your teachers, get on to your community if you would like the DreamGuards.
Well, all
And,
of us. It's a collaboration.
yeah.
So we
Why not?
really see
Yeah.
ourselves in the not too distant future, us collaborating and doing a lot more together.
And Karen's working on her major workshop at the moment that you're going to be following on. That's going to be huge, right? So 2019 is going to be huge, yes?
Yes, I'm being bullied into it.
Not by me, don't look at me.
Pressured. So pressured, yeah, 2019.
No,
We'll do
that's
that.
great.
We'll do
Is
something.
that the
Bit of
bully?
fun.
Is that the bully from the right brain to the left brain, or is it?
It's just dominant. It's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. So dominant.
But it's a great book,
it's
and
a
we're going to
needed
have
force.
this book. Pick it up again. There you go. It's the book From Bully to Brilliant, Karen Clarke. Amazing book, and I would suggest that every family across Australia should have a copy of this in their bookshelf, and that's goosebumps.
Yeah.
I'm honestly talking from my heart. Our book is so well read. It's highlighted.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like fluoro, just about every page.
Yeah.
We use a lot of these quotes in the book
Yeah.
In our presentations
into
because
plays
it's just
and-
so
yeah, it's
valuable.
amazing.
And
We'll
it's
put-
just
we'll
a great resource.
Put the link under here. We're going to put the link right under here.
so we're going to
we
have
can-
this on our website. Michael's developing our
Yeah, yeah.
shop.
Yeah, it's
Truly.
cool.
So we're having actually
And
we've
Karen's side as well. You've got your Bully to Brilliant side as well, haven't you? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
But I'm
good.
happy for everyone to come to you with that.
Yes, very cool.
So it's going to be on our DreamGuards page, and we've got T-shirts arriving hopefully in a couple of days.
And wristbands.
And
are gonna be great.
wristbands,
Yeah,
so upstander wristbands. So it's all there, man. So
That'd be good.
this is what it's about, right? It's about
Yeah.
communities coming together, and the man in the mirror.
Yes. And if
Taking
you
action.
Yes, exactly. If you're going to make a difference, you take action. So
Yeah, for sure.
you do something, and we are doing something. We
We
can
are.
be proud. At
Yeah,
least we're doing
absolutely.
something.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And I am proud, and I'm proud of you, and I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
So pats on the back,
Yes,
I
I'm
reckon.
Proud fest.
Yeah, pat fest. Okay, we're
Oh,
feeling
like
good.
butterflies.
We're feeling good. We're feeling good. Okay.
Thank you
Hope
so
you're
much for
feeling good
connecting
too.
and watching, and make sure you have a good day. And peace is within reach,
Peace,
gang.
peace is within reach, man.
Peace is
Peace
within
out.
reach. Cheers, gang.
See ya.
Thank you.